ladies, we are here today at Doña Leti. There's been like a lot of mixed reviews online, so we're here to see if the food is all flair and no flavor, or if it's actually worth a visit. Doña Leti's is one of the most talked about restaurants in Houston right now, and after my first visit, I knew there was more on this menu that I needed to try, so I came back a second time for science. Across both visits, I tried some of the dishes everyone's talking about, plus a few that caught my attention. But does Doña Leti's actually live up to its viral attention? Let's find out what's worth ordering, and stick around to see where Doña Leti's lands on the flavor map. It is currently happy hour, and this is the tie-dye margarita. Okay, so I'm just gonna give it a try. Woo. That is a vacation drink for sure. That is strong, and it's beautiful. You can tell someone put some time and effort into that. That's great, and it's definitely not weak. That's a nice flavor. It's beautiful, good flavor, strong. Not mad at it. I would definitely recommend that. What's happening here is it is somebody's birthday. Oh, and they're giving them a shot. That is so fun. All right, so these are the pastor empanadas. I am really loving that they gave a whole bunch of different things to go on top of them or inside them as you're eating it. There's a nice golden crust on this pastry. Let's see what the inside is like. I am not sure what this dip is, but I'm gonna try it. That is full of flavor. Sweet, spicy, and then this sauce right here is like nice and sweet. Let me try it with some cilantro, some onions. Wow, that is amazing. I could annihilate this whole plate. Really, this is so good. The pork, the spices, the sweetness, the vegetables, great combinations. Very nice. We have another appetizer. It is the Elote with hot Cheeto on top. It's kind of like a hot Cheeto dust. Very aesthetically pleasing. It's kind of hard to mix because they fill it up so much that they are not shorting you for what you're ordering. Let's go ahead and give this a try. The hot Cheetos give it a really nice difference in flavor compared to your typical cup of elote. The corn is nice and sweet. You can tell that it's been grilled. My only complaint is that it's a little light on the mayonnaise, but it's full of cheese, it's full of Cheetos, it's obviously full of corn. They're giving me like a very nice size of corn here, so it's not bad. It's not bad. I would order this again. And you can see that there's like a big layer of cheese, the cojita cheese. The only way that this could be improved if there was a little more mayonnaise. All right, because I care, I ordered the Mangonada so you can see it. This is what caught my attention when I was scrolling through social media and I saw Doña Leti's. It was the soft serve margaritas, because ice cream / drink, like, I'm interested.
She's interested.
So this is the Mangonada. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try. Look at all the toppings that they put on it, the chamoy, the tahini. I'm very excited. All right, let's give it a try. Cheers. Wow. Flavorful, sweet, sour, a lot going on. It's very sweet. I'm actually really glad that there's tahini on here to like give me a counter to some of the sweetness. Because it's soft serve and it has to be frozen, it's clear that this isn't gonna be a super strong drink like you're ordering it because it's pretty. This is in a plastic container, like the glass is not glass, it's plastic. So it's actually very top heavy. So if you order this, just be aware that it's top heavy and like it's easily knocked over. So just a heads up on that.
Safety first.
But this is good. I would definitely order it for the novelty. But if you're looking for something a little stronger, I would go for the tie-dye margarita or another kind of margarita, because if there's a whole bunch of alcohol in it, you're not gonna be able to freeze it like this. This lovely item is the steak fajita nachos. So obviously there's steak in here, and then back here in the back there is shrimp. These chips look like they were baked in the oven. So they do not look like the restaurant chose Tostitos and then put stuff on top of them. They look like house-made chips. I am gonna go for this guy right here. All right, got a jalapeno. All right, let's see how it goes. This is going to be a hella big bite. Okay. There is a smokiness to this steak. I don't know how they cook this, but there's a smokiness that I've not encountered with steak. That has a nice flavor with the cheese and the sour cream and the freshness of like the veg, the pico that they have in here. That's a nice combination. Let's do one of the shrimp. Shrimp is perfectly seasoned. This bite just confirmed that the smokiness that I'm tasting is from the steak. But yeah, this is very good. If you like nachos, this is one of the best plates of nachos I've had in a long time. This lovely platter is the Birria Platter. We have the Birria Torta, bacon wrapped shrimp. We have Birria Taquitos, and then we have queso birria. And then we have rice, tomatoes, cilantro, onions, so a bunch of different topping. And then of course, the consomme. Let's start with the Birria Torta. Solid cheese pool. The meat has a nice savory, like comfy flavor. I feel like with the torta, because the bread is so thick, it really does need the consomme, because I imagine if you do it without the consomme, it's going to be a little dry. But next we're going to try the Birria Taquitos. Of course, I'm going to dip them in the consomme. Oh, the outside is flaky, but it's not super thick, and I mean that in the best possible way. Oh my gosh, I can feel the cheese in this. Oh my gosh, it's just like super flaky. Oh, it's a little bit greasy. It's a little bit greasy, but it's nice and thin. And I like a taquito that's not super thick on the outside. So let's try it. Oh, look, look, look. They put ramen in the consomme. Yes. Oh my God. All right, I have to. This is gonna be messy, but we're gonna do it. Do it for the vibe. All right. The noodles have fully taken on the consomme flavor. I've had some consommes in the past where they're kind of bland. This is not at all that. That is a fully flavored consomme. I could drink that. The consomme on top of the taquito, it's full of cheese, it's full of meat. And as I mentioned, it's not super, like the outside is not super thick. All right, so I'm gonna do the queso birria. This is heavy. Heavy. Also, it's super hot, so please be careful. This has gotta be like 2 pounds. Like, that's heavy. Okay. Not much better than a cheesy quesadilla. The outside has been dipped in the consomme and then has been baked. It's nice and crunchy. The inside is nice and smooth and savory from the beef and the cheese. And they are not, just like the elote, they are not being shy with the portions. You're gonna get what you pay for here for sure. Like, this is not a place where you're gonna spend like $30 on an item and get like a tiny little bit. This is, you're gonna get what you're asking for here. I just realized this may not be a bacon wrapped shrimp. Oh my gosh. Even better, I just realized this is a bacon wrapped jalapeno filled with cheese. Let's get in here. Cream cheese, bacon, jalapeno. You can't really ask for much more than that. Fantastic, fantastic. And there's also a bunch of grilled onions here that is only gonna help the flavor profile of this whole plate. If you're gonna get this, I would highly recommend splitting it with somebody, because there's no way. Like, I'm gonna have leftovers, but at least dinner is covered for tonight. I'm very happy with this. All the vegetables that are included, toppings, the grilled onions, they didn't have to do that. We got grilled onions and raw onions, and then this amazing consomme. I'm not just saying this, this is the best consomme I've had. Overall, I would say the food here is really amazing. This isn't just flair, they are providing flavor. No wonder a lot of the other Doña Letis are super jam-packed. We started to go to the Doña Letis on Washington and couldn't even find parking. And here, like, it was still a 30-minute wait, but it was worth it. They're really delivering. All right, so we came back because there is so much more that I wanted to try and then share with you guys, obviously, so we're back here. So this is the Casa Azul. It is a margarita, and it doesn't say on the menu what they actually put in it to make it blue, but I would imagine it's blue carousel. Woo. Yep. That's margarita. That's a strong margarita. That's a good margarita. And it's pretty. One more taste. I'm not tasting any premix. It tastes like they actually made this at the bar. It's nice. That's very nice. All right, so this is the Skillet Street Corn Dip. Again, the same thing with the chips as last time. They're nice and thick. You can tell that they were baked here. This is not Tostitos chips. And I think I'm gonna need some thickness in here because all of this cheese. Yeah. All right, Skillet Street Corn Dip. Savory from the cheese, sweet from the corn. They added jalapenos. That's freaking fire. You know what, for science, let's try it with a jalapeno. Yeah. The only way that could be better is if it was covered in jalapenos, but that's just me. You have the pastor torta. Amazing that they have a pepper and these beautifully brown sauteed onions. Good on them for that. I love that they add that. It's not just raw onions. They took the time to saute them. Oh, could not ask for better. All right, let's get in here. I'm ready. Bread is nice and toasted on the outside, but the bread itself is still nice and soft on the inside. Super savory. I love pastor. So good. It's filled with pastor, obviously, with sour cream and lettuce and, of course, cheese. Oh my goodness. Amazing. But the combination of the spiciness from the pepper, the sweetness from the onions, and then this tomato and the lettuce, it's super bright. It's very fresh, but it's also super savory from the pastor. Oh my God. It's fantastic. Get the pastor torta. Get the pastor torta. I've been looking forward to this since the first time I came here. I dream about this. This is the Mexican banana pudding. Instead of your typical banana pudding where they have vanilla wafers, they use these Mexican cookies that are a little crunchier than vanilla wafers, but definitely sweeter. And then they cover this in whipped cream. Obviously, they have a bunch of bananas. And then they drizzle it with dulce de leche. This is probably one of my top 5 desserts. Let's get in here. You ever have a dessert and it just makes your shoulders go down? This is that for me. All right, let me utilize these little cookies the way they should be utilized. Happy food dance. It's a giant bite, but it's gonna be awesome. Ooh, and there's some cookie in there too, extra points. Oh my God. Easily one of the best banana puddings I've ever had. And there's also a tres leches tiramisu. Oh, it's amazing. We were gonna get it this time, but they were out. Doña Leti's is absolutely worth the hype. Everything is actually quality, and they give you a huge portion every time. We waited an hour to come in here, and it was absolutely worth it.
Let's see how Doña Leti scored overall. The ambiance is lively. I went to the South Post Oak location, so the parking was easy. And no, if you go to the Washington location, be ready to fight for a parking spot. The price, I would say, is moderate, and the dishes that I would recommend would be the street corn dip, the pastor torta, and the banana pudding. I think that Doña Leti's is for sure a must try, and overall, I'm giving it a 9. If it weren't for an hour wait, it would have been a 10. All right, Doña Leti's fans, what did I miss? What should I order next time? Let me know down in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you at the next stop.